We do have a problem of communication with the Prime Minister. We're at a very critical moment.
Dhe për këtë ka treguar 5 arsye.
The association would not be another Republika Srpska. It would not be a state within a state.
Ai ka refuzuar çfarëdo arsye nga Kosova.
It's a disastrous decision and even incompetent decision. So the association itself would solve the dinarch.
Përfaqësuesi amerikan për dialogun Gabriel Escobar një ditë para vizitës së tij në Kosovë ka mbajtur një takim online me gazetarët për të përçuar mesazhet e tij. Ai ka treguar edhe arsyeën e vizitës së tij në Kosovë.
We're at a very critical moment. And I have to say that we are struggling to get both Brussels and Ohrid back on track. And we have to say that, I have to say that from the American perspective, there is no other alternative than the EU facilitated dialogue. The dialogue has been the mechanism that's resolved many of the challenges in the bilateral relationship between Serbia and Kosovo, and it continues to be the primary mechanism for resolving these differences. I urge both parties to respect the agreements that have already been reached, to implement all the agreements, particularly the ones outlined under Ohrid, and to show goodwill in preventing any provocations that would derail any of the agreements and create more tension between the two countries. So that is going to be one of the primary reasons for my visit to Kosovo.
Gabriel Escobar ka insistuar se vendimi për dinarin është I dëmshëm dhe për këtë ka treguar 5 arsye.
Yeah, well, look, on the implementation of the central bank decision, we are hearing many reports of difficulties and hardship that the citizens of Kosovo who depend on social payments from Serbia are experiencing. And we do call on the government of Kosovo to take the concerns of the international community about the treatment of minorities inside of Kosovo, to take those concerns seriously. There are 5 reasons why we are concerned about this decision. One is the speed in which it was implemented. We're not concerned. We are not discussing the legitimacy of the decision. We're discussing the implementation of the decision. Now, I'll remind you that it took France almost a year to implement the euro, and in northern Kosovo, they wanted to implement it in less than 3 weeks. The second is that the government provided no alternative, no government alternative for the people to receive them, to receive their payments. And these people depend on the payments, and they should receive them. They're entitled to them. The third is that there was no outreach to the affected communities. And so a lot of the people who were affected by this decision were left guessing as to what the next step was. Finally, the 2 weeks before the announcement of this decision, Kosovo, along with the other countries of the Western Balkans, had agreed in Skopje during a summit of the Western Balkans countries and the European Union that there would be a payment mechanism by the end of this year. So in other words, if Kosovo would have waited, the payment mechanism for transparent electronic payments would have been solved. And lastly, the 5th reason is we have been struggling to get Kosovo to allow the international community to help provide some technical assistance to find a resolution for this issue. So we need the government of Kosovo to work with the international community to help find a solution, a disastrous decision, and even incompetent decision of implementation of a decision that has created chaos in the economy of Kosovo.
Escobari ka përmendur atë që dijej se SBA-ja ka problem me komunikim me kryeministrin Kurti. Ai ka thënë se edhe shtetet e tjera e kanë të njëjtin problem me kryeministrin Kurti.
The partnership between the United States and Kosovo is between the people of the United States and the people of Kosovo. It doesn't run through one man or one party. But I would say that currently we do have a problem of communication with the Prime Minister. And it's not just the United States. So it's not a problem that the United States has. I think it's a problem that Kosovo has in its communication with the European Union, with NATO, with the UK, with the United States, and with many other partners, including Albania and North Macedonia. So we've enjoyed a very, very close partnership with Kosovo in the past. We would very much like to have that relationship back to the way it was before.
Përfaqësuesi i lartë amerikan I ka bërë thirrje Kosovës që të implementojë marrëveshjen për asociacionin e komunave serbe.
Well, they have never given us a full answer as to whether they accept it as it is. We find it hard to understand why they wouldn't submit it for constitutional review. So we'd still encourage Kosovo to move forward. And I want to reiterate, the association would not be another Republika Srpska. It would not be a state within a state. There is nothing in the statute that allows for executive authorities, executive powers, or anything that could create constitutional or functionality issues for Kosovo. It is simply the opportunity for municipalities, Serb majority municipalities, to coordinate the delivery of municipal services in Serbian language for citizens of Kosovo. That's it. And it is a legally binding obligation. So we have heard many different reasons why hasn't been submitted or why it hasn't moved forward, but we reject all of them. It should move forward, and it should move forward as soon as possible. In fact, we believe that the whole question of the DNR issue right now would be resolved through the association. The association, as recommended by the European Union, by the EU Special Representative, includes provisions for the transparent transfer of money from Serbia to those who are entitled to it in Kosovo through a transparent mechanism under the Kosovo law and within the constitutional framework of Kosovo. So the association itself would solve the DNR issue. And so we want Kosovo to move forward.
Gazeta Reporteri javën që shkoi raportoi ekskluzivisht se administrata amerikane ka limituar nivelin e bashkëpunimit dhe takimeve me kryeministrin e Kosovës Albin Kurti, si mas kufizuese ndaj tij. Shkak mos koordinimi I përgjithshëm në çështjet që mund të ngadalsojnë apo rrezikojnë progresin në implementimin e marrëveshjeve të Brukselit me Serbinë. Në raportimin e 7 marsit, Gazeta Reporteri duke u thirrur në burime të besueshme diplomatike, paralajmëroi se porositë të qarta dhe të domosdoshme për qeverinë e Kosovës pritet të vinë shpejt nga SBA-ja, e ato I dha sot Escobar nga Brukseli, e të tjera pritet I lënë në Prishtinë gjatë qëndrimit 2 ditor, nesër dhe pasnesër.